Okay, so in this video we're gonna be looking at the trot, first at normal speed and then at slow motion, and see if there's anything I couldn't spot on the normal speed video. So now starting with the trot from the front, this seems to be a bit more stable than the walk, but the neck is slightly bent to the right side, and the head has a tilt to the right. The shoulders move with a small, choppy sort of way, and it is as if they move the whole body from side to side, and this is happening because they abduct and internally rotate in order to advance the forelimb forward. So we can see the left carpus rotating internally and abducting, and the distal limb makes this paddling motion, like a circular motion from the outside to advance forward. The right forelimb doesn't seem to be doing the same action, but at the end of the swing phase it adducts and lands towards the midline. And this is probably happening because the horse is trying to offload the medial parts of the joint that hurts, which might be the carpus, because I think I can see an accessory movement of the right carpus. And now we're gonna switch to slow motion and see if we can find any differences. And I think that a detail missed is that the right forelimb is also paddling and rotating to the outside, so the hoof is seen towards the outside. Now watching the horse trot from behind, again we can see more of the horse to the left side, but that could be due to the angle that I'm filming. Now the pelvis doesn't move equally. It seems as if it drops more on the right side, because when the right hind is on the ground, the pelvis rotates to the left. The tail remains in the midline, and the hind limbs move adducted, and the hocks seem turned in close to each other, and the right hind moves towards the midline and steps towards the midline. And also from this view, we can see the left forelimb paddling and the hoof being visible on the left side of the horse. And now we're gonna switch to slow motion mode, see if we've missed anything. So one point that I can see is that the right hind, as it moves into retraction, it abducts and then moves in a paddling motion uh, behind, and then during protraction it crosses the midline and steps more towards the midline of the body. And now we're going to watch the horse trot from the left side at normal speed. The general impression is that the horse is very, very stiff from the poll to the sacrum. I mean, his spine is completely stiff and not moving, and she's keeping her cervical spine in extension and the head as well. The thoracic spine doesn't move at all, and so is the lumbar spine, and there is a little bit of side bending and rotation in the lumbar spine and the pelvis to compensate for the immobility of the rest of the spine. The forelimbs make small choppy steps, and the trot is uneven, with right forelimb and the left hind having short stance phase, which also affects the diagonal, the left hind limb. The hind limbs don't move under the body, and we can see that the right hind, she is dragging the right hind, and when the right hind is on the ground, she is tilting, swinging her pelvis a little bit to the left to try and help the left hind. And the whole movement of the legs of the horse is like she's swimming, but actually it doesn't propel her forwards. And now we're gonna switch to slow motion, see the movement better, and see if we've missed anything. I don't think there's nothing much to add here. Everything's been seen on this one and the previous videos. The stiffness of the entire spine, the swinging and rotation of the pelvis to the right to compensate for the lack of movement, and the lack of shock absorption through the scapula and the withers. And now we'll move to the right side. Here we can see the horse moving as a unit, and not in a good way, but in a unit like a log, a tree log. And we can see a lot of tension on the dorsal aspect of the neck. Along the crest, we can see tense, ropey muscles, very stiff, and we can see more stiffness on the thoracic and lumbar spine, and a little bit of rotation and swinging on the pelvis to help the horse move a little bit despite all this stiffness in her body. And basically on this side we can see whatever we saw in the previous videos. And in addition, we can see a lot of tension in the triceps area when the limb retracts, and tension over the area of the latissimus dorsi and the flank. And also we can see tension in the gluteals and the hamstrings as well. And now we'll switch to slow motion, and basically there's nothing that we haven't seen on at normal speed. And I think that this is it with the trot. And I think we did quite well, and I feel quite confident doing this now.